Hello guys, once again I want to give you a quick tip for all of us abroad, and me included. Okay, now the truth is that the more we stay abroad, the more difficult it becomes for us to go back home. I know that there are a lot of people who find abroad like next to heaven, or even call it heaven, right? But it is not the ultimate. There's no place like home. In as much as there are challenges back home, but home is still home. All right, now for example, like the woman who was complaining about the treatment she was getting in Germany, how her 2 children was taken by a German person, and how she has fought for 7 years. So what does that tell you? It tells you that no matter what you do as a black person, you are still a foreigner. Whether you get citizenship, whether you have naturalized, whether you have done this or done that, you are still a foreigner. The only way, let me give you an idea on how you can make yourself want to go back home at some point. Okay, you have to find ways to invest back home. You have to remain some money to invest back home. You must have investment. What millions? These things will attract you to go back home. Now, don't leave everything to the family to manage for you. Especially those who have stayed abroad for 20 years, 30 years, and thereabout. The more you stay, the more harder it becomes for you to go back. Now, for example, imagine you have a child who was born abroad here, and the child has been staying here all his or her life, or their lives. Maybe you had 2-3 children and all that. All of them grew up here, and you have not gone back to your country for the past 20 years, or even 10 or 15. Now, when you tell these people, there are stories they tell these children in their schools. There are things they tell them, like, oh, your country, they are killing people there. They are telling these children, and these children will take these things serious. Now, when you want to go back home, when you tell them, oh yeah, let's go home, it becomes a problem. They say, where? To where? And another thing is also women. Women may contribute to a man going abroad. Take these things serious. Women may contribute to gogging a man abroad. The man now no go fit go back home again. How? There are some women who don't know the value of where they came from again. They are now part of abroad. That is why you see some of them sending their husbands away, because they don't have any plan of going back home. Because when you have plans of going back to where you came from, you know that your husband will not be happy with you when you go back to Africa. Imagine that. So, but as a woman who has sold herself to abroad, when you are telling her about going back home, she'll be asking you, what are you talking about? But now, another thing is, when you have investments worth millions, if you look, you will see that most of our billionaires, trillionaires, all of them are at home. Show me how many of them who are permanently living abroad. They spend most of their times back in Nigeria. This message is for Africans, but I'm targeting Nigerians. That's the people I'm talking to here. You see that all the billionaires, all the millionaires, they are back home. So now that you are still young, now that you have not spent so much time abroad, try and be investing back home. Try and travel back home. Try and buy landed properties now that euro has gone up, and you are turning it to naira. You are likely to have bigger money. Okay? Now do the exchange. Save money, send money to your Nigerian bank account, then go home and invest. Most times the families that we have back home frustrate our efforts, because the money you send, they will eat it, use it for their own enjoyment, and they stop carrying the burdens of everybody on your shoulders. Shoulders are be head self. Yeah, anyone. Because when you keep carrying these things, at the end of the day, you will achieve nothing. Let me give you an instance here. I had a village person who was very wealthy. He has money very well. And those ones, they were, I think, Lagos and abroad. They go from Lagos to abroad and all that. You know, in the past, Lagos used to be abroad for we in the village those days. So when you hear Lagos, you know that it's abroad, right? When we were very small. Unlike today, that these things are no longer, you know, the way it used to be. So that my uncle, they used to live in Lagos, from Lagos to abroad, to Obodo Ibo, to America and all that. So this man was not coming home. Now the wife was also there. You see, so two of them were abroadians. They never came home. Now today, the last time the man came, I think he was almost dying. And at the end of the day today, the man is no more. The children now, the woman has taken them abroad. All of them now are staying abroad. Now, the man's house, in fact, the wife didn't even allow that man to invest anything in his own compound. The man barely just built a small house. Okay? So there is nothing to write home about there. And the children does not even know this man's village. They don't even recognize it. The only time they came was when he was in the coffin in the village. They just came and they rounded it, and after that, all of them flew abroad. So where is the man's legacy? Where is his lineage? All these things are wiped away because he maintained abroad life. He was living Akanelu. Okay, so now is the time for you to start planning on how you can still be an African. If not, your lineage will not remain. Because I don't believe that children born abroad and who grew up abroad, who remain abroad, will maintain your lineage. It doesn't stay there. Okay, so abroad also divides families. You understand? So this is just my own advice to you. So I just suggest that you guys should take this advice seriously and start planning on how to make your home your home. Don't forget where you came from. Don't forget where you are going to. Don't think that you have arrived. If you stay, the more you stay abroad, the more opportunity for you to forget where you came from. That is how it is. You see, so. So pass this message to all our people. Share it for me, please, so that everybody can get the message and understand what I'm talking about. Peace out. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about it. Start planning to go back.